Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask if you guys could all please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely. Also, if you guys do find any information in this video valuable or interesting at all, definitely consider subscribing and turning notifications on, and I will be greatly appreciative of it. Now, overall, with today's drop on Bitcoin, QNT actually hasn't, fallen too far. In terms of, the market standing, we are at number 59. We are only down about 8.95 on the 7-day span, which is actually fairly significantly less than, compared to most other assets, like for example, even Curve and so forth. So I actually think that, QNT is holding up a little bit better than most other assets. We dipped down to about $158.89, almost to my buy point, but it is all good. I am still holding a large pretty much bag. We are still seeing a lot more accumulation happening in terms of wallet address holdings. And in terms of my video yesterday, I have been talking to you guys about QNT's price predictions in the future a lot recently. And, I do think that this is probably once in a lifetime opportunity in this market. And I think that this market only gives a few of these every so forth. And, right now, what we have in front of us is the fourth industrial revolution, digitization of the entire payment infrastructure. But what does that payment infrastructure need? Well, you've guessed it, interoperability. We're going to be talking about that in this video. Overall, in terms of QNT's chart, let me know what you guys think about this, because in my mind, what we recently dipped down to is really not, concerning to me. The only thing that's concerning about QNT that tells me we will most likely come down and test even lower prices is the fact that volume has been diminishing greatly ever since pretty much going as far back as like December 6th. This is pretty much negative volume here on December 4th. So we have not had a lot of volume into QNT in a fairly long time. We need a lot more volume. And honestly, I could see this coming down and retesting these lows down here on this bottom line at about $140. If we do break that, I've always said prepare for $100 because that's pretty much the next major point to really test. I am still waiting for us to reclaim the $205 point. That's where we do get bullish, okay? Anything up here is where we do get bullish, and I mean anywhere up there where we hold, because we have not found support up there at all ever since, like, we're going back to like even, November at this point if we're looking at that. So in general, we want a lot more volume. I'm not validating this having a bottom being in just yet until we surpass $205, to be honest with you. I think that we could still come down even lower, but I think that we are in a strong accumulation zone right now currently. I do want to talk to you guys though about, really kind of connecting everything to one. We do see here the new digital roads still need connecting. Regardless of crypto, blockchain, DeFi, NFT technology is going nowhere. Institutions will always need an interoperability solution moving into the new digital age. QNT will be needed no matter what. And I want you to all understand the value behind QNT as a whole network. I want you to all understand that when we're looking at QNT long term, when we're looking at crypto long term, the Internet of Things, the Internet of Value is not going anywhere without interoperability. Okay? And I'm not the only one that sees this. Many major crypto, higher up CEOs are also noticing this as well. And we're going to be talking about that. We do see this. Cryptocurrency trends in 2022, slower creation of new third and fourth generation blockchain solutions, more blockchain standards creation and interoperability options, business organizations adopting BaaS, and of course blockchain an excellent fit for the Internet of Things. But the problem with the Internet of Things is that it still needs interoperability, and there's a lot of problems within the Internet of Things as well. And I really do think at scale, when we're talking about cryptocurrencies being adopted in and interoperability being utilized, these are like $1 trillion, solutions. For an example, the Internet of Things, the market size and forecast. So we actually see down here that the Internet of Things currently is about, it reached 761.4 billion in 2020 and is expected to reach 1.39 trillion by 2026. The thing about this is that you're looking at all of these massive amounts of devices, IoT devices, sensors, network connections, cloud versus cloudless IoT, and even software. There is a ton of devices. There's a ton of things within the Internet of Things space. But the problem is connectivity. Being able to connect all of this to one. There is really not that many interoperability layers within this space. And you actually see all of these major companies. We're talking about Intel, Cisco, IBM, Amazon, Google, all of these major pioneers in the technology space. Obviously, the Internet of Things is a huge market. I know that it's not a massive market in terms of its value, but that's going to continue to grow and grow and grow as the Internet of Things kind of continues to disrupt. In general, we're going to need interoperability layers within this, and we're going to be talking about that here. A classic problem that affects all Internet of Things implementations is the lack of interoperability between standards and devices. We actually see here IoT platform interoperability application. We see platform 1, gateway/middleware, platform 2, platform 3. We need better interoperability. We need a lot more connectivity. And we are even seeing these problems coming up. Philips, study finds hospitals struggling to manage thousands of IoT devices. Interoperability is needed. Interoperability in general is such a huge use case because it stretches beyond, crypto. It stretches beyond payments. Digital roads are being built, definitely within crypto, but also outside of crypto. Digitization is taking over at a rapid pace without or with crypto adoption, because we are even seeing digitization of almost everything. We're talking about digitization of healthcare, digitization of payments, digitization of even social media. Web3 is growing and growing and growing in adoption, and I'm very excited to see that because when we're talking about crypto in general, I do believe that crypto is going to play a huge key role in this. And of course, Ripple themselves, going back to 2019, even sees here, right? Interoperability is the key to unlocking the network of networks. Okay, so when we're talking about, the Internet of Things, the Internet of Value, interoperability definitely is going to play a huge key role. We know this. We do see here, yet creating a faster, cheaper payments network or a smarter supply chain barely scratches the surface when it comes to blockchain's potential. The truly transformative impact will happen when individual networks come together to form a network of networks. That will change how interconnected industries transact with each other. And of course, we do see them talking about the Interledger Protocol. Work is already underway to resolve the problem. Interledger Protocol is an open protocol suite designed to allow value to be transferred across networks. It works by abstracting the differences between these networks, much like how Internet Protocol IP makes technologies like the Ethernet and even Wi-Fi compatible. With interoperability, we will not be limited by specific technology of any individual blockchain, but can create interconnected experiences that solve more problems and open up new opportunities. The problem here is that guess what? Interledger Protocol itself is more so designed around XRP. And I mean, technically speaking, when we're talking about this, yes, this could work a little bit if all major banks and stuff accepted XRP in general only. But I do believe that there's other ledger technologies that will be adopted in, but they will all need to be able to communicate with one another. And QNT is solving that. We also see here in terms of CBDC success, partnership, interoperability, and neutral bridge currencies are the key to CBDC success. And this goes back to just 2021, 1 year ago. Okay? And they know that in terms of the digitization and tokenization aspect on CBDCs, the future of payments, we even talk about 80% of central banks accepting this, they must embrace interoperability. Interoperability is the biggest key to all of this. I stress this on a day-to-day level because I still don't think people realize the power behind Quant. People look at this and they're just like, yeah, it's another asset that is, being hyped up. It's not going to live up to the hype. It's not going to do this. Understand that they are already laying the groundwork here. We also see compliant ISO 222 cryptos will see a boom in 2022 with swift adoption. Currently compliant XDC, XRP, XLM, IOTA, ALGO, rumored HBAR, QNT, ADA. How big is the boom? 70 plus countries, 80% market share of high volume payments, 87% of global financial transactions. Best part about this is, guess what? When we're talking about all of these, ISO 222 tokens, they will need to be able to communicate with one another if they are going after a large portion of this market size. And how large is this market? Well, if we're talking about cross-border payments, $155 trillion market. Swift, Nostro, Vostro accounts, $27 trillion. They do about $5 trillion a day in terms of transactions as well from Swift side. So you're looking at about, in terms of the derivatives market, at the year end, you're looking at almost $2.7 quadrillion. If we're talking about QNT being well positioned to be the connectivity layer, well, you could pretty much do the math for yourself and understand how large it will be if we just, move a small portion of that amount. It's crazy to say the least. And of course, interoperability is a complex thing to understand. Many are trying to solve it. Keep researching and you'll find QNT is the leading solution. This is your second chance at the .com revolution. And of course, if you guys do want to read this, I'll leave this up on the screen while I talk real quick, because realistically speaking, when we're talking about the .com boom, yes, the .com revolution was huge, and not a lot of assets actually made it out of the .com boom. A few main ones like Amazon and stuff like that made it out. But if we're talking about crypto, currently there's like 16,000 plus assets in this space. Once regulations are in place, I only believe that there will be a select few left over to put your money in. QNT, in my mind, will definitely be one of the main winners because it is solving so many massive issues, but also it already has connections to huge individuals, including the Rockefellers. We're talking more so about connections to major high-tier clients as well, talking SIA, even Oracle. I mean, it's huge in terms of a massive network system, but it's also, a very legitimate asset in terms of the team behind it, the individuals behind it. This is a huge asset. And the .com revolution, yeah, that was great, but what about the fourth industrial revolution of digitization of the entire payment system? A massive infrastructure disruption in terms of crypto technology. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That is why I said here, not realizing how big of a puzzle piece interoperability is for DLTs to be mass adopted into multiple industries, i.e. finance, healthcare, retail, use cases, etc., right, could cost you millions in ROI. People laugh when I say QNT is a $100,000 plus asset once utilized properly. Not going to make it. QNT. I've always said this. QNT is a $100,000 plus asset. I've always said $10,000 is inevitable. But when we're talking about $100K for QNT, we will achieve that. In fact, when we're in a utility-driven market and Quant is being utilized properly, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what if I don't have time to wait? Okay, listen, if you're going to complain about time, okay, go invest into something else that will drive up value. There's a lot of other assets in the space. I'm not saying that QNT is the best choice, short term. I don't try to trade QNT. This is a long-term hold for me. But in the short term, we will also make some extremely good gains off of QNT. But in general, when we're talking about this being a 100K asset, I believe that is also inevitable. $10,000 will happen sooner than 100K, obviously. But long term down the road, this is such a massive gem. I honestly resist paying, selling. Because I am not going to pay the sacrifice to sell my QNT when I know the real value behind this massive asset. 33% less supply than Bitcoin, and it is solving a massive problem. We know that this is a huge key that will unlock the treasure chest for banks, financial institutions, enterprise clients, even retail adoption as well. I mean, it's going to be so massive at scale. I can't even fathom the idea of not being in QNT, knowing the technology behind this. So with that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.